Yeah, the PSP came out in Japan December 12, 2004. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about the PSP last night. It turns out it's its 20th anniversary. Can't believe it. Yeah, I think PSP is also my favorite portable console. But mostly because of its library. Not a hardware, in terms of hardware, it isn't my favorite. I think in terms of that, it's probably the PS Vita. But the PSP, when it comes to library and catalog of games, you know, it's by far my favorite portable system of all time. It's just that on the PS Vita, I can play PSP games, right? So in terms of hardware, the PS Vita is better for me, right? But it's just the catalog, the library of the games, you know, that's the PSP, man. What a great console. I remember when I first got my PSP, actually I think I got a couple of them and I may have sold them when I had the store, but I didn't get a PSP until like 2013. No, I think it was like 2012. It was in 2012. And I wanted to get my hands on that component cable that you could plug into your TV to play the games in there. And actually that's what I ended up doing. Thank you, Mr. Kid. But like a regular, it wasn't a fat PSP, it was a slim PSP. And I kept it for myself, and that's how I started. I hacked it, and I started downloading a lot of games and playing them, you know, but after like a few games, I was like, I need to play this on my TV. And I found out about that component cable, you know, so I bought the cable, but I had a CRT back then. Everybody had a widescreen and shit, you know, like a LCD screen, LCD, right? LSD is a fucking drug. So, I sold my CRT. I probably shouldn't have. And then I got my flat screen. And then I got the component cable. And then I played the crap out of the PSP. RPG after RPG, you know, Jeanne d'Arc, Trails in the Sky, Hexis Force, Ys 7, Grow Lancer, Spectral Force, Souls, etc. You know, the Star Ocean games. Fuck. I had a blast. So throughout the entirety of 2013, about 90% of what I was playing were PSP JRPGs. Well, nah, let's say about 70%, because the other 30% was when I was at the store playing Nintendo DS games. I was like, I'm going to play Nintendo DS JRPGs at the store, but PSP JRPGs, I'm going to leave those for when I'm at home, you know, on my flat screen. Yeah, good times. Alright, so the PSP uses discs. It uses UMDs, but yeah, it's the part that mostly had issues. If you have a modded PSP, is it worth collecting the physical if you have a modded system? Yeah, I think a lot of PSP games are like, well, I think it's too late to get into PSP because a lot of the great games and RPGs, the obscure ones, especially, are like very expensive. You will still be able to find a lot of like Final Fantasy games, God of War, you know, Jack and Daxter, you know, for like $10, $20 completing box. First editions, or even the greatest hits editions, you know. But when it comes to like JRPGs, most JRPGs on PSP, I think you will have better luck getting PS2 JRPGs. There's still a lot of PS2 JRPGs that are still kind of cheap, on the cheap side of things, you know. But PSP is like, most are already like $40, $50 and above that. So Japanese imports are expensive for PSP. I have no idea. I don't collect Japanese games. I only have a couple of them and they were gifts from a fan. So there we go. Yeah, it's like 9 out of 10 consoles nowadays. You know, most games are expensive, rare, scalpers are taking advantage, resellers. It's just, this is why I quit video game collecting in general. Like, I still collect games, man, but I haven't bought a single physical game in months, you know. But this is the reason, it's just not fun anymore. Trails Through Daybreak was fucking awful, man. Awful. Horrible. NIS America destroyed the story, the characters, and not only that, they pissed all over them. They killed them, buried them, and pissed on their graves. But that's NIS America shit, not Falcom. Yeah, I know. Actually, I made a comparison with the translation. There was a scene when the characters are in the car, and I recorded that scene. I just don't have it here. No, I think it's probably still in the PS5. So I recorded a scene where the characters are talking in the car, and they're like, this red hair guy? What's the guy's name? The fucking, well, one character was, you know, in the, you know, there's a translation that was done years ago by a team called, a fan translation called Zero Field. you know? So I made a comparison of that conversation from the NIS America translation to the Zero Field translation, and the difference was abysmal, man. Horrible. What NIS America did is Falcom should fucking sue them. If I was Falcom, I would fucking sue them, man. I would cut ties with NIS America. I can't believe they did that. They were talking about, racism, in the conversation. And so in the script, in the translation by Zero Field, it was just like, oh yeah, the guys from the North are like a bunch of elitists, and there's some racism issues, and that's it. And then Agnes, the blondie girl, explains to what's the name of the girl? The Fairy? I think it's Fairy. Oh my god. Anyway, so Fairy asks, what's he talking about? And Agnes says, well, there's problems like that, but here in Calvard, we don't have that problem, because there's people from all over the world here. So it's basically a multicultural nation, right? So that's it. That's the conversation. But do you want to know what NIS America did? No, it wasn't just saying, oh, the North, they have a lot of elitism and racism. No, they said, no, the fucking North are a bunch of fucking racists and I want to kill them because of their white supremacy and shit. NIS America. No, I can't believe it, man. And that's just what I'm telling you, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's fucking horrible. Do not buy that fucking game, man. Die Hard Trails fans, I'm a Die Hard, forget about that fucking game. Or try to play the Zero Field translation on PC. That's the best. NIS America is fucking garbage. I have more respect for Atlus now. But NIS America, fuck you. Fuck you, kiss my fucking ass. You guys are fucking evil. That's fucking evil, man. Fucking evil. Trails through Daybreak. That's the game I'm talking about. It's horrible. Fucking horrible translation, man. They ruined it. Yeah, man, it's fucking terrible. I quit. I can't stand playing it. I was like 20 hours in, and I was like, no, I'm done. I can't. I just fucking can't. I'm fucking furious, man. I rage quit in the game because of the translation, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about something positive now. Keep asking your questions. I needed to get that out of my system. Thanks. Do you feel generally about all the Final Fantasy re-releases? I love the old ones. But don't you think they're a bit much with it? Yes, they are. I think it's become an issue. Obviously, nowadays there's too many remasters and remakes and whatnot. But Final Fantasy, I think, has a big problem. It's like they remaster them or remake them every few years. I mean, remakes, remasters, remakes, whatever you want to call them, we're already there doing the Game Boy Advance. Well, we got one on... Okay, so... Fucking Final Fantasy games were there on Famicom and Super Famicom, right? And Super Nintendo and shit. And then the PS1 came out, remasters, remakes. And then PSP, more remasters and remakes. And then, what was it, like Game Boy Advance, more remasters and remakes. And then now Switch and PS4, more remasters and remakes. Now the Pixel remasters. And like, dude, it's like every few years, fucking Square Enix needs to remaster them or remake them again. And yeah, it's like the epitome, right? Not the epitome, what's the opposite of epitome? It's like, sure, a lot of video game companies and a lot of developers and studios are remastering and remaking their old games. But for most of them are like it's the first time. Or maybe just the second time. But in a like 20 or 30 years lifespan, or span. But Final Fantasy is like, dude! And Dragon Quest seems to be going in the same direction. It's just fucking Square Enix, man. Keeps milking everything over and over again. Like, how many versions are there already of Final Fantasy 1? There's like 10 of them. So yeah, I think it's definitely a problem. The rock bottom, thanks. The rock bottom, the bottom of the barrel. It's just that. It's Final Fantasy, and I get it's the most successful JRPG series of all time. The most popular. So it's milkable. From a business point of view, I will milk it too, but I will milk it that much. Take Final Fantasy X, for example. Final Fantasy X and X-2. PS2 games, and then remasters on the PS3, remasters on the PS Vita, remasters on Steam, remasters on PS4, remasters on Switch. Where's the PS5 remaster? I hope that never happens, because come on, enough is enough, but it will happen. Knowing fucking Square Enix, it will fucking happen. So yeah, it's not, they need every single Final Fantasy game available on every single fucking console in existence. When the PS6 comes out, and the Xbox Series whatever, you know, in the second Nintendo game, you bet your ass we'll see more remasters of those fucking games. So, yeah. If you think like me, just don't consume them, don't buy them. Just stick to one version, particularly the old versions, and that's it. If you want to stick with the Pixel remasters, which has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, stick to those and fuck the rest. You know, it's just insane. I think it's insane, yeah. But then again, Square Enix is freaking insane. We already know that. What remake is better than the original? Well, Super Mario RPG, I don't know. Like, I think both versions are equally amazing. I'm not sure which one I like more. But speaking about Star Ocean, the second story R, that's just fucking great. Definitely, man. Don't take me wrong, I like the original PS1 game. I like it a lot, but the remake of Star Ocean 2 is like far superior in almost everything. It's just insanely good, man. What else? Yeah, but Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is like not exactly a remake, not 100% a remake. It's like 80% remastered, 20% remake. But yes, it's better than the Wii version. Let's put it this way, remake or remaster, whatever, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is far superior. Well, I wouldn't say far superior, but it's superior to the original Wii version. That's just my opinion. Chrono Cross. Okay, yes, I'm gonna say yes. The Chrono Cross remaster is better than the original because it added a lot of quality of life features. It looks beautiful since they fixed it. Okay, when it came out, my answer would have been no because it had a lot of frame rate and performance issues. But Square Enix fixed all of that, right? And now it plays on 1080p, 60 frames per second, stable. So the PS4 version, at least, I don't know about the Switch version or the Steam version. I can only vouch for the PS4 version. And I do have a physical copy of on the Switch, but I haven't opened it because I have it digital on PS4. So that's the one that I played and I can vouch for. So Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition on PS4, it's better than the PS1 original game. But in most things, not in all of them. Okay, problem number one, that Chrono Cross, the CGI cutscenes weren't remastered. And they look fucking horrible in the Radical Dreamers Edition. So that's 1 point down in favor of the original PS1 version. And obviously the translation was, well, a couple of lines were altered for the remaster, but just a couple of them. It's not like Trails Through Daybreak, you know, where almost the entire script was altered. No, it was just a few things that Square Enix of America found offensive. And but it's just the bare minimum, right? So yeah, I will say the remaster of Chrono Cross is better than the original PS1 version, but not in everything, just in most things, okay? What else? I'm gonna roll here. Chrono Trigger, that's not a remake, man, it's just a port. It's not even a remaster. Chrono Trigger on the Nintendo DS is just a port. They just put the game on the Nintendo DS, and that's it, that's all they did. Not a port, not a remaster, not a remake, it's just a port. And I haven't played that much. I can't compare. I can compare Chrono Trigger PS1 versus Super Nintendo, but they're just ports. Like, it kind of doesn't fit in today's question, you know. The question is more about like remakes and remasters. Trials of Mana remake is better than the original, says JA. You know what? I actually kind of agree because I always felt the battle mechanics and the controls in the original Super Nintendo version are kind of outdated. The graphics, untouchable. The music, untouchable. The story is the same. It was expanded in the remake. But the combat is just good on the Super Nintendo, but it didn't age very well. And now the remake is much better. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Trials of Mana remake is better than the original, but again, in some areas, okay? Not in all of areas. It's just that pixel art and those 16-bit graphics, man. Trials of Mana is one of the most beautiful fucking games on the Super Nintendo, man. And yeah, the remake is just as beautiful. And Angela, I know, right? But, you know. But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of with you. In most areas, the remake is better than the original. Fire Emblem Echoes is far better than Fire Emblem Gaiden. Well, that's another one. Yeah, that's a great fucking remake. So is Shadow Dragon. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon is much better in most areas than the original. The one thing... Well, I know the art style was a bit ugly in the remake on the Nintendo DS. But it's not like the art style in the Famicom game was prettier, you know? So, yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. I think Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and Fire Emblem Echoes are far superior than the original Famicom games, Fire Emblem 1 and 2. I'll give you that. I'm 100% in agreement. Is Misa from Death Note your type of woman? No, not really. She's a fucking poser, man. Misa, I think... Misa is the blondie girl, right? I haven't watched the anime in a long time. Even though, you know what I'm wearing right now? That's what I'm wearing right now. A Death Note hoodie. I got it as a birthday gift. I'm not really that big of a fan of Death Note, but I like the anime. My brother knew that, so he gifted this to me on my birthday this year. I was like, okay, great, thanks. So I'm wearing it. So is Misa the idol, the gothic Lolita, the pseudo-gothic? Because there's nothing gothic about her at all. She just dresses like a gothic girl, but she's not fucking gothic at all. She's a fucking idiot, man. I hate her. I hate that character, man. And she never grew on me. It's not like I hate this character and then halfway through the anime she grew on. No, I fucking hate that character the entire anime. Fuck Misa. She's that? Okay, so yeah, I don't like that character, man. She's a poser, man. You know what a poser means, right? Do you know what a poser is? Poser is somebody that poses as something they're not. Like non-binaries. Fucking posers, man. That doesn't exist. But no, it's more of about cultural thing. It's a cultural thing, you know. More like about like being like those fucking girls wearing Metallica t-shirts or Nirvana t-shirts, and they only know like one fucking song. Oh, I see you're a fan of Nirvana. Great band, right? Yeah, I love Smells Like Teen Spirit. Yeah, what about In Bloom? I haven't heard that song. Aneurysm? Nope. Have you listened to other albums? Oh, they have more than one album? That's a fucking poser, and that's Misa from Death Note. She's a fuck. It's that metal, baby metal, whatever, that fucking band. You know that band from Japan? Baby Metal? What, is that the name of the band? Fucking... I don't care if their music is great. I'm not criticizing how the music sounds. The music, the songs are probably fucking great, right? But that's a poser band. The girls are not really metalheads. They're just fucking idols. You know, that some fucking producer put together to sing metal music. It's just not, right? Though that's a poser band. That's my rant on Misa from Death Note. Did you think story in Strange Journey is peak on SMT series? Peak as it is the best fucking story in the entirety of the Megami Tensei series? No. But it's still fucking great. It's one of the best stories. A lot of people praise Strange Journey precisely because of the story. A lot. It's like Xenogears. It's like whenever you discuss Xenogears with someone, it's like the story. And you see all of these YouTubers, I haven't seen their videos, you know, but I've seen the title of their videos, like saying that Strange Journey is like a masterpiece with the best SMT game, like one of the best, blah, 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 and I'm like, you know, video games are more than stories, right? Well, okay, maybe the people who made those videos are really into dungeon crawlers in first person and long-ass labyrinths and random encounters and annoying puzzles. I respect that. I'm not. So, here's my answer. In terms of story, I think Strange Journey is one of the best Shin Megami Tensei games ever made, period. Peak, like you say. But in terms of gameplay mechanics, like it's honestly one of the worst I've played. But it's still a great game. I still gave it an 8.2 in my blog. 8.2. And that means the game is recommended, it's great, and if you're into dungeon crawlers in first person, you should play it. But it's not not even in my top 10, man.